gone through the longest period of my life not drawing. I just sat at my drawing board and decided I was going to start drawing again. I was going to draw exactly what I wanted. Damn Hollywood. And I started Sin City. You felt like you were getting Frank at his most committed as a creator. I mean, you felt like you were getting his blood, sweat, and tears on the page. And I draw this comic book that's everything I always wanted to draw. First three priorities were tough guys in trench coats, beautiful women, and vintage cars.
Well, Sin City is a marvelous achievement in terms of sequential art.
There's a hard edge to them, there's a brutality to them. There's also a really rough beauty and an elegance to them.
Sin City has been viewed as really one of the pinnacles of Frank Miller's art achievements and storytelling abilities.
I don't want to make Robert Rodriguez's Sin City. I want to make Frank Miller's Sin City because I love that material so much. And it was so good the way it was. I thought this would be a great movie as is on screen.
When he first approached me, I was just awful. I really didn't want my baby loose.
Clear the set, let's line it up, please.
I play Nancy Callahan. Of course, in Frank's world, I'm a stripper. But
it's been really wonderful for him to not only be a part of the process, but not just be a writer, but be considered a director and be able to give input.
Can we switch sides of the stethoscope?
It was essential to have Frank Miller on set every day because it's his baby, it's his world. He knows everything. He wrote all the dialogue, he created all the characters. You know, how can you do Sin City without Frank Miller?
He's his own little legend.
what goes on in his brain is something so crazy, beautiful, sexy, violent, cool, genius.
Icons presents the one and only Frank Miller.
We've been rather busy in your absence.
Their first game nearly failed.
Nothing will go wrong.
A year before we shipped Half-Life 1, people in the company looked at what we had and said, this isn't good enough.
We made some pretty big mistakes.
And their second was stolen right out of their own offices.
At the time, it was shocking.
That was a dark day for us at Valve.
I had people in the company coming to me and saying, you know, are we going to go out of business?
But they took the world of gaming to the next level.
It's just amazing now that what we can do.
It was more than just a video game. It's more and more possible for more people to look at games as not just entertainment, but an art form.
This is the amazing story of Valve and Half-Life.
Wake up and smell the ashes.
From the early days of gaming.
Sex appeal in video games has definitely been part of video gaming for a long time.
The first sex act I remember in a video game was Golgo 13 for the NES. Yeah, I got some.
The Leisure Suit Larry series was a big part of the idea of sex in video games back in the day.
To the virtual vixens of today.
So if you can have B breasts, why not have C? In fact, let's go to D and make them jiggle massively. D's not enough, let's try double E's.
G4 presents a look under the covers.
Hey, this can also be entertainment in video games the same way it is in movies.
Sex in video games has great appeal because sex has great appeal.
Of sex in gaming. Ba-ba-boom!
Put a group of game developers into a haunted office.
The building is scary as it might sound.
Apparently there's actually a ghost or something that lives here or haunts this place.
Give them a determined leader with a vision.
Dave Jaffe's a very interesting man.
He can be a complete asshole, quite frankly.
And you'll get a game that takes everything to the edge and beyond.
God of War is the game that I've wanted to make since I was a little kid.
It's a hardcore game. It's gross. There's blood and guts, but it's a challenge.
There's this great big high adventure, hyper-violent, overly sexual, adult action-adventure game. That's kind of God of War in a nutshell.
This is a behind-the-scenes look at the making of God of War.